Barka Mujama'a and welcome to HIRA with Ruby Gyang. My name is Ruby Gyang and I am so excited and grateful to be sharing your screen with you. We have a great show for you today. We also have inspiring and amazing guests who will be sharing their life, their experiences, and their talent with us. So stay with us, learn something, be educated, be entertained. We'll be right back. Female education in every sense is one of the basic factors of growth and development of a country. No country can achieve sustainable economic development without significant investment in female education. Before now, females in northern Nigeria were deprived of formal education. At best, basic religious education was only considered good for the female child, because she was raised to get married, please her husband, bear and raise children, and their female children will repeat the same cycle. However, things have evolved. There is now awareness for the need of girls and women to be empowered through education. Educated women are more likely to encourage and inspire compassionate values into their own children in addition to her wider family. An educated girl or woman is also better informed about pregnancy-related issues, as well as influences on her general health and that of her family.
Foodborne disease.
Educated girls are far more likely to be aware of issues surrounding violence and abuse, and are less likely to become victims of things like domestic and sexual abuse or human trafficking. The main challenges to female education in northern Nigeria include the cost of education. Even though basic education is supposedly free, the cost of educational materials poses hindrance to the effect of the purpose it's meant for. There could be further incentives for parents that could encourage them to send their girls to school. Government and educators should provide a safe space for all the children to learn without being left as prey to the hands of sexual predators, as well as physical or emotional abuse from the school staff or the system. In all, education and knowledge are, by far, the most powerful weapons known to mankind. It is a fundamental factor in being able to make a valuable and substantial difference in the world. This is not to say that more girls should be provided with education rather than boys. Instead, it is a reminder to recognize the importance of equality across both genders, especially in communities where women are seen as lesser individuals. Education should be accessible to both females and males in equal measure. Today we're going to be talking about advancing education for northern women, and our guest is going to share with us the importance of having a society that understands the role that women play in human capacity development as well as social and economic development. Our guest, Fatih Abubakar, is a photojournalist and a documentary photographer. She will be sharing with us the role that education has had in her personal and her career growth, as well as how a simple, soft-spoken Kanuri girl became a celebrated journalist, traveling the world, creating compelling visual stories about ordinary people in unique situations. Fatih, welcome to HIRA with Ruby Gyang.
Thank you very much for having me.
You look fantastic.
You do as well.
Yeah? Okay, so we went through your social media and we noticed one thing about you, the red lipstick signature.
Yes.
Is it a Kanuri thing or what's up with that?
I just love red, and of course our Kanuri veil, the mandil, is also red. So oftentimes during the Kanuri weddings, we just have the red veil and the red lipstick for me. So it became a signature.
You know, what is awesome about this conversation is now everybody's going to learn about just that little tidbit about Kanuri people. I love it. So let's dive right into it. How did a nurse become a photojournalist?
It's a very, very long story.
Wait, hold on. Let me relax.
I will try to shorten it.
Okay.
So I went to University of Maiduguri to study a BSc in nursing, and I graduated around 2013. And at that time, of course, as you know, there was the Boko Haram conflict.
Yep.
So it was a bit difficult to be studying and to be living within the conflict, etc.
Yeah.
And of course, half of this town was struggling. So I moved to the UK and I started studying public health. But that was September 2013. But unfortunately, around 2014, the Chibok girls were kidnapped. And so there was a lot of bad news coming from home while I was studying abroad. So I unfortunately spiraled into a depression. So I was clinically depressed because all that was going on at home while being in school was very difficult. So I delved more into discussing the psychological impact of war on refugees. And my professor at that time encouraged me to interview people within our school who are fleeing, conflict, so that I could talk to them and understand, because it was very similar to what was going on at home. And one of the other reasons was that, when you Google Borno State, all you see is kind of the devastation and a lot of the stories about dying and death. And this is a broader topic about how Africa is being covered. But I wanted to change that narrative.
Exactly. I've already entered my next question, which is, for most people, when they show war, it always has to do with devastation, or the hunger or the famines that come. But you decided, with bits of Borno, to show the happy side. Do you understand, of Borno and the situation going on there? So why that?
Well, like I started saying, one of the reasons was that when I was in school, I would go on Facebook, I would go on Twitter, and there was so much about what was happening in the conflict and how the media was covering it. But I would call home and my mother would say, "Oh, it's okay today, we're doing fine." So there were contrasting stories that I was getting.
Knowing what, has happened in Borno, the insurgency, the terrorism, how has it, affected schooling, education? What's it looking like now?
Well, currently there has been a lot of effort put in by the previous government in terms of rebuilding a lot of schools that were previously destroyed. So, and there was a mass kind of I would say not an advert or anything, but there was a push by the government with the help of organizations that are working there to ensure that children feel safe within these schools. So a lot of the schools that were mainly in rural communities were brought back to the state capital, and there were huge schools that were built, and there was a lot of armed personnel on ground, and there was free buses that pick up school. There were like lots of free uniforms and backpacks, and there's also a free lunch. So there's a lot of push towards making everything accessible and available for students.
What do you think that impact can be? Because you said you're a girl from a small town and you'll be able to travel the world and do these amazing things. What is that impact that education can have, particularly on young girls and on women? What can it do for them?
I remember our state governor at the time used to say education is a game changer. And I still believe that, because for me, someone who grew up from the other side of the tracks, education was that tool. It was almost like a ticket out of my hometown. It was the way in which I could set myself apart. If you are highly educated, there are rooms you'll enter that you'll not enter because of just beauty or your physique or anything like that. But if you speak and people will respect you, people will give you jobs. There's so many opportunities, so many doors that it will open. And having said that, when I talk about education, I just don't talk about Western education alone. I talk about Islamic education, I talk about Christian education, and of course I love emphasizing on the need for a person to go to the school of life as well. You don't necessarily have to be in a classroom to be a learned individual.
That is so interesting. Okay, right now we're going to go on a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're still talking about advancing education for northern women. So Fati, we had a correspondent of ours go out into the streets to find out, about education. So we're going to check it out now.
Salam, my people. This is HIRA Streets, and I am Pipa. And on today's episode, We're talking about education. So we're out here at Zone 3 and it's such a beautiful day. Watch what happens, okay? Majezwa, it's HIRA Streets.
When a woman is educated, she makes better decisions, and when a woman is educated, she speaks better.
It contributes to the advantages of women doing well in the home because one, for instance, you know that you are a house manager. You are a house manager, whatever they give you, you draw a scale of preference.
Education makes one, a woman, to have confidence of what she's about to do or what she's going into.
If a woman is educated, her children upbringing, you will see difference.
The education of a woman affects the population of a country because when you are educated, you will not begin to give birth like a rat.
They have been feeling marginalized before now, but through education or with education, they can now mobilize others. Say, look, things like this are supposed not to be happening.
Good upbringing she gave her children, definitely it will affect the society also. But if she gave them bad upbringing, it will also affect the society.
One of the differences between an educated woman and an uneducated woman is this. An educated woman has better opportunities.
But an uneducated person, you know, whatever he or she do or did, they know that it's right. Because one, no extra, no modern, no additional maybe initiative or orientation to say, no, this is supposed to be like this is supposed to be. Because they say it's God that give their children. They get better as many they like because, and to them, they never do anything bad because that orientation and the understanding and education is not there.
If you are educated, you can change the life of the people around you in so many ways. And some people, because they are not educated, they don't know how to help others, even though they are intelligent.
Hey guys, and it was such a fantastic conversation with people on the streets. So why don't you join in the conversation wherever you might be, whether at home, in your office, just send your comments, okay? You can follow us on our socials at HIRA with Ruby Gyang and let us know what an educated woman is versus an uneducated woman. Za mu ƙara magana da ku next time, okay? Catch you then.
Okay. You know, my favorite question or the answer was the woman that talked about women giving birth like rats. What do you think about what she said?
I thought it was funny and very accurate as well, and kind of aptly describes this, you know, image people have of a northern woman. So it's very common to hear that, but the way she phrased it was very funny.
I want to talk about that, you know, in terms of, is it true that northern women don't go to school?
Well, it is very stereotypical to hear of that, but I think that in all honesty, the numbers are very low when you compare it to other regions. There are lots of barriers for women in the north in terms of, you know, cultural, religious. In reality, honestly, a woman who is educated is a great asset to the community. She'll bring a lot of opportunities for other people. And even as we hear in a lot of these answers on the streets, her children are raised better. You know, she brings so much to the society that I believe that if she's uneducated, we are going back.
This is perfect because it leads to my next question. You recently set up a creative program, you know, for young creatives in the north. Would you tell us some more about that?
Well, so when I started as a photojournalist, I was the only female, I think, from my ethnic group anyway, that was into purely photojournalism. And Borno State has 27 local governments. I easily realized that I could not cover a lot of the stories. So for me, I wanted to bring all that I've learned to the rural community. And our economy is down. Not everybody can afford to fly to Abuja or Lagos or Kano to do a workshop. So I took the opportunity to bring it back home, but to educate in a way that is also very informal and also teaches you on the ground in the community that you know, and teaches you how to document your own life stories, but also life stories of other people around you. And we got over like 200 applications in 2 days, because
this is from Borno?
Yes, from the northeastern region, because it was free and it's not always available.
Fati, you're a teacher, so please, will you teach me? You show me a few pointers.
I'll show
You
you
will.
a bit of what I know, but you have to join the class
Alright.
for the
No
full
wahala.
course.
Okay, so we're gonna go on a break, but when we come back, you guys are gonna see me learning a brand new skill. Okay, welcome back. Like I said before I went on break, Fati is going to teach me how to take a photo. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Can I have a
I
camera?
hope you
Thank
didn't
you.
show all of that.
Thank you, Mr. Carl. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so
This thing looks heavy though.
it is
How do
heavy
you-
and I have back pain because of that, but we'll talk about the,
Okay.
the other thing. Yeah, so I usually tell people, I teach people the same way my mentor taught me. So I usually start with safety first
Okay.
because all cameras are very expensive. If you're going out, you have to now wear this first. This is the on button and then
Okay.
you press here for it to click till you hear the sound. That's
Okay.
when you know that it's taking a picture.
Alright.
But frame it in a way that you just don't click immediately.
Okay.
You know, tilt it to the side, ask, you know, make me pose and show me,
Okay.
make me feel comfortable before
Yeah.
you take the photo.
Okay.
So let's try and see
Alright.
what your eye sees.
Okay. You said safety first, Abby. Let me.
Yes.
Okay. No, this is gonna mess up my turn.
Yes,
man.
you
Fashion
shouldn't.
first. Am I holding it in well? Is this
No.
okay? Okay. All right. How you feeling?
I feel
You
I
feel
feel
nervous?
okay.
You feel okay?
Yes.
I like your lipstick. What color is
thank you.
it?
It's pink this
It's
time.
pink. Okay. Very nice. Where's that button you said? I should-
Wow, you've missed it.
Hold on. I've seen it. I've seen it. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to wait. Can you give me like a little sign? You know, a little. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nice. What, in my opinion, is nice. Tell me what you think. On a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, the model is beautiful.
Okay. Hey. That's
yeah,
important.
but yeah, you did well for a
Yeah?
first time.
Okay. Okay.
I
Thank you.
really like it.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Do you think I have potential?
Yes, you do. Everybody has potential, but come
Okay.
to the class.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Fati. This has been a fantastic time.
Thank you very
All
much
right.
for having me.
My pleasure. You can find Fati on social media at Fati Abubakar. You can also check out her fantastic work on her website, www.fatiabubakar.com. Meanwhile, we still have another guest coming up, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome. In this second segment of the show, we are going to be talking to an expert in the educational sector in Nigeria. Miss Bilkis Musa is a school growth strategist. She is a lover of kids and is committed to educational excellence. She is also the principal consultant at Teachers Recruitment Consult. Now, Miss Bilkis Musa has incredible experience and has done a lot in this sector. Miss Bilkis Musa, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Ruby.
Before we dive into serious stuff, I want to say you look fabulous.
Thank you.
And it seems like we're kind of twinning, you know,
Yeah.
color-wise, right? It's actually... And before I want to say that I've never seen a hot teacher like you, to be honest. Like when I think back, you know, in primary, secondary, university,
Yeah.
the teachers were not put together like this. So you're really doing it.
Thank
But anyway,
you.
let's launch right into this. How did this begin for you?
Okay, so I started off as a classroom teacher in a 2 to 3 year old classroom. For me, education is my passion. I dream, breathe, sleep, and think education every day. So I started off as a classroom teacher, and then I started learning about curriculums. And along the line, I stumbled into school administration.
Okay.
And eventually I headed a few schools, and I started off Teachers Recruitment Consults to be able to bridge the gap that schools are having. They're not able to put square pegs in square holes, so we keep putting round pegs in square holes, just thinking that because you have 20 years experience, you're going to be able to fit into any school leadership, but really they need to be professional at a particular aspect of education.
They say that a child's formative years are the first 8 years, and after that, that basically sets the tone for who they go on to be in life. Do you think that is true?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Okay, so basically, when children are young, between the age of 0 to 6,
Yes.
a child enjoys everything. So for instance, Maria Montessori says that the child has an absorbent mind, which means that anything you put into it, the child will absorb it.
Wow.
So whether you put in negative or you put in positive, the child is going to give back to you and even give you more.
Unfortunately, we live in a world where there's sexual predators, there's all of that kind of stuff. How can parents equip their children, particularly girls, right, to be able to just defend themselves or be able to navigate these type of situations?
By talking to them,
Okay.
exposing them to what it is and calling it what it is.
Okay.
Really, because growing up, there are certain things you couldn't talk about. And even when your mom would tell you about them, she wouldn't call them the name. So if you're teaching your child about her private areas, call it what it is.
Okay.
It is your breast, it is your penis, it is your vagina, whatever it is that you need to say. Just say it to the child.
Even me, I'm shy.
Well, most importantly, their voice. They should use their voice. They
Wow.
should talk and be confident. Raise confident children.
Yes. Okay. That's an interesting perspective. I have to say that with HIRA, our plan was to entertain, educate, and inform. And as the host, that's what you have done for me. So my hope is that that is what it has done for you as well. Thank you so much, Bilquis, for coming out, for sharing your wealth of experience, for sharing your life, for just sharing your awesomeness with us. We are really, really grateful, and we hope that we'll see you again in season 2, because these G's were barely even scratched the tip of the iceberg. So thank you so much.
Thank you too for having me. I had a
Anytime.
great time.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. This has been such a learning. It's been educative, it's been entertaining, it's been informative for me. And this is what we do. This is what we do at HIRA with Gyang. We really want to just showcase the best and brightest of minds with you and have them share with you their wealth of experience and their knowledge. We're going to go on break now, but stay tuned for the next segment. In that segment, we're going to have one of the most talented artists you have ever seen from Northern Nigeria performing. Don't go anywhere.
Africa, oh Africa, that's where I come from. Our land is green, our skin is black, colors all around. Africa, oh Africa, can you hear the drums? Ancient sounds and melodies, that's where I belong. We are one, nothing can divide us. We are one, oh, we are one. We are free, nothing can enslave us. We are free, oh. Motherland, oh motherland, no place be like this. Beauty in diversity, rainbow when you look. Motherland, oh motherland, wrap me in your arms. There's no place I'd rather be, home with everyone. We are one, nothing can divide us. We are one, oh, we are free. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Africa, Africa. Oh, Africa, motherland so beautiful. Africa, my Africa.
Oh, Africa, your fame is heard. Cradle of civilization, ancient but feared. Rich in natural resources, history and culture. Your name and fame, widespread as folklore. From the pyramids of Giza to Mount Kilimanjaro, your reputation and fame as strong as an arrow. Arise, Africa.
Awani Baba, Awani Baba, Awani Baba, Africa. Africa. Awani Baba, Awani Baba, Awani Baba, Africa. We are one. Nothing can divide us. We are one. Oh, we are one. We are free. Nothing can enslave us. We are free. We are free.
Wow, Charisma, that was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Such a gorgeous voice, rich, full, soulful. And you know, as a soul singer, you know, that's the kind of voice I like, right? So you killed it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure. Well, you know what? Before you leave us, I have to ask, tell us where we can listen to your music. Tell us where we can find you on social media.
So I go by the name _Charisma with a K.
Okay.
And
Can you spell it out? Let's make sure people get it.
THE_Charisma with a K, KARISMA. And the music is on everywhere digital music is played.
So
it's
Spotify,
on
Apple
Spotify,
Music,
Apple, YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the first, and I didn't say I wouldn't do love songs.
All right. Oh, this is your first single.
It's the first single. I have
Fantastic.
a whole lot of songs, yeah.
All right,
coming
guys,
up
you heard
this
it
year.
first. She's told you on HIRA with Ruby Gyang that there's new music coming out soon. So
Yeah.
don't dull. Go check her out. Follow her. Stream the music. Charisma, thank you so
Thank
much.
you
We
so
hope to have you
much.
again.
Thank
Season
you.
2. God bless.
Bless you. You're doing something beautiful.
Thank you
Love
so
it.
much. All right, it's a wrap on HIRA with Ruby Gyang. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We trust you were informed, educated, and entertained, and most of all, that you had a fun time with your family. I have to say a big thank you to my guests, Fatih Abubakar and Miss Bilkis Musa, and of course, a serious shout out to Charisma for the fantastic performance she gave us today. Thank you to our sponsors, Worthy and the How Foundation, for help making this happen. Join us for the next episode where you get new insights and see new experts and see the freshest talent out of northern Nigeria. And last and certainly not the least, I have to say thank you, my viewers, for tuning in. You are the reason why we get to do this, and we cannot do it without you. So looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Say Anjuma Nagode.